A classic case of Trump derangement syndrome. Ladies and gentlemen, none other than the poster child for TDS, Rosie O'Donnell.
During his first go round, it was very difficult, and I got myself into some bad places. You know, I was very, very depressed. I was overeating. I was over drinking. I was, I was so depressed, Chris. I can't, it hurt my heart that America believed the lies about him. And then it broke my heart to be in a business that creates and sells those lies for profit. It was very heavy, to tell you the truth. That during his first.
Wow. A lot of people might not know the backstory. A lot of people may not know the backstory. A lot of people think that the Rosie O'Donnell Trump feud kind of started when Trump said only Rosie O'Donnell. And that's not where it started. It started because Rosie O'Donnell, when she was on The View, I believe all these years ago, called Trump a snake oil salesman. She made fun of him. She went off on him. She accused him of all of these different things. And then Trump responded, and this is the classic Trump response, which is truly like, if you think Trump is a badass now, and he is, dude, back in the day, Trump was the ultimate savage.
Well, Rosie O'Donnell's disgusting. I mean, both inside and out. You take a look at her, she's a slob. She talks like a truck driver. Rosie attacked me personally because I was very happy when her talk show failed. The other thing that failed, and this was a real monster, and everybody was suing her, was her magazine. Her magazine called Rosie was a total disaster. So I loved it. I gloat over it. I think it's wonderful because I like to see bad people fail. Rosie failed. I'm happy about it. She's basically a disaster. Well, she called me a snake oil salesman. And, coming from Rosie, that's pretty low because when you look at her and when you see the mind is weak. I don't see it. I don't get it. I never understood. How does she even get on television? I believe Barbara made a terrible mistake putting her on, and I think Barbara's probably paying a big price. If I were running The View, I'd fire Rosie. I mean, I'd look her right in that fat, ugly face of hers. I'd say, Rosie, you're fired.
That fat, ugly face. Let's go. Oh, there's more. Just wait. There's more. I see you, Harley Dave. I see you, you mad lad.
We're all a little chubby, but Rosie's just worse than most of us. But
it never gets old. I've heard that line so many times. We're all a little chubby, but Rosie is worse than most of us.
If I were running The View, I'd fire Rosie. I mean, I'd look her right in that fat, ugly face of hers. I'd say, Rosie, you're fired. We're all a little chubby, but Rosie's just worse than most of us. But it's not the chubbiness. Rosie is a very unattractive person, both inside and out. Rosie's a person that's very lucky to have her girlfriend. And she better be careful or I'll send one of my friends over to pick up her girlfriend. Why would she stay with Rosie if she had another choice?
Dude, the savagery is off the charts. And he would do it too. He would send someone to take her girlfriend.
Rosie's a person that's very lucky to have her girlfriend. And she better be careful or I'll send one of my friends over to pick up her girlfriend. Why would she stay with Rosie if she had another choice? She's trying to use ABC and The View to get even with me. But with me, we fight back. I'll probably sue Rosie because she doesn't tell the facts. As an example, I'm worth many billions of dollars. Now, she said I was bankrupt. I never went bankrupt. So probably I'll sue her because it would be fun. I'd like to take some money out of her fat ass pockets. I actually think they ought to look at her whole life and see where she's coming from because I think she's got some very deep-seated problems. Perhaps it should be Rosie that goes to rehab. Rosie is a loser.
Now going back to that, now think about the fact that she decided to pick a fight with Trump. And then Trump just became more and more and more powerful and influential. And then he became the president of the United States of America. And this was her response to that.
During his first go round, it was very difficult, and I got myself into some bad places. You know, I was very, very depressed. I was overeating. I was over drinking. I was, I was so depressed, Chris. I can't, it hurt my heart that America believed the lies about him. And then it broke my heart to be in a business that creates and sells those lies for profit. It was very heavy, to tell you the truth.
So that's the backstory on Trump versus Rosie. And, a lot of people think that it was all at that, presidential debate, but that was kind of where it just hit the next level. And the volume's a little low on this, but this is that classic moment.
One of the things people love about you is you speak your mind and you don't use a politician's filter. However, that is not without its downsides, in particular when it comes to women. You've called women you don't like fat pigs, dogs, slobs, and disgusting animals. Your Twitter account...
Only Rosie O'Donnell.
No, it wasn't. Your Twitter account...
This is like years later. And this man is a multi-billionaire running for president. He's already flipped the entire political world on its head. And he decides to take another shot at Rosie O'Donnell. He is the definition of petty. And I love it. I love how petty he is. It's so glorious. So there you go, right there.